What is similar between legends like Warren Buffett and Benjamin Graham apart from the fact that both were successful investors? The similarity lies in their investing strategy, known as the buy and hold strategy. You should watch this video until the end to learn about this strategy. It'll be interesting.
Hello guys, this is Shweta and welcome to the world of Wall Street Mojo.
What is the buy and hold strategy? So, when we invest in any financial asset, we want the price of it to increase after we buy it. I mean, that's how we would make money, right? Some investors stay invested for a short period, while there are investors that never sell. That's what the buy and hold strategy is. Investors buy or invest in assets for the long term with no intentions of getting out of it in the short term. Such investors usually rely on fundamental analysis, including past performances, long-term growth strategy, company management, etc. Buy and hold investors wouldn't be affected by short-term market fluctuations, business cycles, or inflation. Instead, they would only focus on investing at the right price and staying invested for a long time. Examples. Say that a teenager named Tom came across Bitcoin and was instantly intrigued. So Bitcoin was just rupees $1 in 2011 and Tom invested $20 and bought 20 Bitcoins then. Tom was confident that Bitcoin would become big in the future and he stuck with the investment throughout the years. Cut to 2020. One Bitcoin was worth around $65,000 and in his 30s now, Tom holds 20 Bitcoins worth more than $1 million combined. Well, this is just an example of buy and hold strategy that I'm sure all of us wish to have done back in the day. But yeah, this is what a buy and hold investor would do. They would invest in something they believe is good and will give them good returns if held for a longer term. Then they stick with it no matter what happens unless their view changes and they no longer have confidence in the investment. Warren Buffett is the best proponent of the buy and hold strategy, and he has repeatedly stated that investing in assets and holding them for a long term will fetch the investors lots of returns. Advantages. There are mainly 3 advantages to the buy and hold strategy. Firstly, since an investor using the strategy would buy the stock just once, few transactions exist. Hence, brokerage, advisory fees, and commissions are low. Secondly, since investors hold their investments for the long term capital gain tax will apply to them, which is lower than the short-term capital gain tax. Finally, it is quite easy for investors to adopt the strategy as it requires stock selection just once and doesn't require investors to track stock prices constantly. Disadvantages. But wait, there are some disadvantages too. The buy and hold strategy will test an investor's behavioral biases and emotions if the prices fall. Hence, investors will need to have high risk tolerance as their buy and hold strategy is easy to implement but is hard to follow with discipline. Also, investors holding the stock for the long term through thick and thin don't really have any limit on how much loss they would be willing to take. There is always the risk of company going bankrupt and the investors losing all their money. Important point to note. Alright, now that you have enough knowledge about the investing strategy, here are some important points you should consider. First, even though you would invest and hold for the long term, you should consider market fluctuations and not just ignore them altogether. It would help if you looked for any fundamental market shifts. If it happens, then you will have to adjust your portfolio accordingly. Secondly, don't think this strategy applies only to stocks or bonds. Some people implement this strategy in real estate too. For example, they would buy property and hold them for a long term without flipping them. Finally, a diversified portfolio is very important, even if you use the buy and hold strategy. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Invest with the long-term view. Then Warren Buffett will be proud of you. This will be all for this video on buy and hold strategy. We hope you learned a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like and maybe even share it with others. We'll see you in the next one.